What happened to that other guy?
Vince?
Yeah, did you fire him?
We did. No,
we had to get rid of him.
We did. We were like Napoli.
He got me too'd.
Yeah. Well,
He thought harass was 2 words. Hello, you beautiful freaks, and welcome to a brand new episode of Frequels. I'm EJ Leeson, and with me always, Mr. Rory Colorasi. What's up, buddy?
I'm good. This is our second take, and I'm just saying, same exact shit applies. My contract's running out, and we're going to be having some conversations about monetary compensation. So,
Oh, cool.
stay tuned.
Awesome. That's going to be
Could you
a
actually just
conversation.
pay me in hot dogs?
Yeah.
It was going to be part of the whole negotiation thing, but we were going to like start at $2 billion and work our way down to just like a couple packets of hot dogs.
Yeah.
Can we just do that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you need buns, too?
Could you provide buns?
No.
No.
I can.
And with us today, a very special guest, no stranger to the show, and Hypnocel's #1 investor, Mr. Chris Swartz, a.k.a. Swartz Dreamboat. What's up, buddy?
AKA Freddy Krueger. Nothing, just hanging out.
nothing new, nothing crazy.
No, I had to go into the office today. I'm usually a work from home kind of guy, and they had me in the office, and they put me all by myself, and it made me feel really self-conscious about myself. But since I found out you guys wanted to be paid in hot dogs, it's because I walk around with hot dogs in my pocket. So,
Ooh, can we talk after the show?
yes,
Yes.
All right.
especially
Perfect.
about the buns.
By the way, I am loving the not so scary stories on your YouTube page.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm excited to announce not so scary. That's not what it's called. Not scary stories on YouTube. I'm glad you listen to them and enjoy them, and everybody here should listen to them and enjoy them.
I laughed really hard at something that you said in the episode and blew a stop sign as a result. So.
That's one lucky stop sign.
Oh, hello, stop
It
sign.
was something about a demon having swallowed an anvil. And
Yep.
I'm like, that's just something special.
Oh yeah,
That's comedic genius right there.
get used to him. He's coming back.
I love him.
Yeah, I love it. So what's new, man? What else is new? Have you seen any new movies or anything like that?
What have I seen? I've seen I've seen a new show. I don't watch a lot of shows, and I've been watching that Penguin. on HBO Max.
Are you liking it?
I like it. He looks like an ugly Tony Soprano,
He does.
and that's my second favorite show. So it crosses all the dots for me,
Yeah.
or dots all the dots.
That's, and I love what do you call it? Sophia Falcone.
Yep.
What a great character.
And she was also in The Sopranos. She was one of Johnny Sack's daughters.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Shut up, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was the
one
mother
from,
in How I Met Your Mother.
right? Yeah.
She comes into the show, and within the first episode, you are like frightened of her character.
So
I feel like
I will be starting that show probably tonight. 'Cause I've heard nothing but good things about it.
it's really good. Like, and her character specifically, they like added a lot to the character, so she's just awesome.
Yeah.
I think she might be like one of the best parts of the show.
She's in Wolf of Wall Street, isn't she?
Yeah. She's like Leo's
Jordan
first
Belfort's,
wife.
Yeah. Well, I thought she actually was Leonardo DiCaprio, but that's
Right. Yeah. I thought so too.
it's weird.
But then Colin Farrell, it just crushes it. He's so funny.
He's like, I'm the Penguin. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, he does do the Burgess Meredith a little bit.
Yeah. No, and that's the other thing I like about it, though. Because like it doesn't make a lot of sense that he went in that direction since he didn't act that way in the movie. But there he is. Where you fouling finks?
And he has like that long cigarette.
Yep.
Yeah. Just hanging out of his mouth.
That was
pretty
Mickey.
interesting.
Burgess Meredith.
Yeah.
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 That's all I wanted to say about that. He was Rocky's trainer.
Yeah. No Batman in the show yet, though.
Is
Yeah.
Rocky in the show?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was hoping for.
And the penguin's like,
Just remember, Mickey loves you.
And they do bring back like some like minor characters into the show. The one weird police chief that talks a little crazy. He's like, "Hey, you expect this guy in a Batman suit?" He's in the show.
Yeah?
Yeah.
yep,
Well, I know
so-
America demanded that he come back.
I did. I was like, where's that guy that talks like he's running out of breath? I need that guy.
We need more of him.
I don't know why they put me on camera.
And the script
I need
that's
oxygen.
and the script that just says, just ran a mile type.
Yes, and he fits it perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's in like episode was it 4 or 5?
I
forgot.
think it was just I think it was the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I am loving the show too.
I like
So wait,
the
what's your
Batman.
first favorite show?
The Sopranos is my first.
Oh,
favorite.
okay. So this is perfect then.
Yeah. So it's nice to see somebody representing Tony Soprano, who's very hairy and deformed, and does a comb over and looks real hot under his makeup, much
Oh,
like
yeah.
James Gandolfini did when he would walk into the room and be like,
I'm a leader of a crime family. Where are my ducks?
So, how about you, Rory? Have you seen any new movies?
I saw a few I'll mention.
All right.
I think you were in the theater for this one. We saw Terrifier 3.
Yes,
Yeah?
we did.
We did. Hey, still not my bag exactly. Like, still not, like, my favorite thing, but I will keep seeing these movies because I love the fact that they're very, like anti-studios, and they just kind of do their own thing on an independent basis, and it was, like, the #1 movie
Yeah,
in the fucking country, which is crazy.
an unrated movie that is #1, which is like you don't ever really see that.
No.
You know what I mean?
And
So,
it's something that we should all celebrate.
yeah.
Go see it. And it's like, of the 3, I don't know how you feel about this, but it's the one that I feel like I enjoyed the most because I felt like it was the most streamlined. Because I like the first one, I think you said in the one episode it was like a sizzle reel.
Yeah.
And the second one I felt was like a lot better, but it was just needed an editor that was a little more, like a little less precious with some of those scenes. But then the third one I just felt like was pretty streamlined. And I love Christmas horror.
Yeah.
Hey, we're coming up on
Same.
that soon.
I know. I'm really
know.
excited
'Cause it's
That's gonna be
November.
awesome. I know. It's wild.
But I saw the documentary Superman.
Oh, yes, I did too. Loved it.
Yeah, so I have like a weirdly personal thing with Christopher Reeve's Superman. So it was probably about 10 minutes into the movie, and I'm just like, I need tissues. God damn it. It just hurts so bad. It was it's a really beautiful movie. There's like a shot in it where they show like Christopher Reeve like signing for some kids, and like the look on those kids' faces is literally just like, oh my god, it's Superman. Like they look,
Yeah.
it's so perfect. Like it's just, I don't know, it just made me feel a certain way. But it's a really well made documentary. Saturday Night.
Yes,
Did you
loved
see that
it.
yet?
No, I haven't seen that yet.
That's like a movie I feel like you're really gonna appreciate a lot.
Yeah, no, I like early SNL.
Yeah.
It's
Same.
it just even like the energy in this movie.
Yeah.
It's so energetic and it's so funny, and it does feel like some of it was like a little improv-y. But I thought the movie was just fucking electric.
Yeah.
I typically don't explain just describe a movie as an electric, but I think it's a good word for it. Did you
It's-
like it?
Yeah, I loved it. I'm like a huge SNL fan.
I know you are.
And so I feel
You're probably
like
like the biggest SNL fan I've ever met.
I know. I still watch it to
Yeah.
this day. I religiously. I love it. But yeah, no. I feel like I forget the actor's name who played Dan Aykroyd, but he captured his cadence,
Yeah.
like the way he talks and just like his delivery was so spot on. And then same with like Chevy Chase was like really good.
As soon as you saw Chevy Chase, you're like, that's Chevy Chase.
Yeah.
It was so weirdly spot on.
And then, of course, the actor who plays John Belushi and Garrett Morris, like, everybody was, like, perfect.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane.
Oh, fucking Billy Crystal.
Yeah, that actor, like...
I thought that was Billy Crystal.
Like, I thought it sounded just like him.
I thought they did, like, one of those, like, de-aging things.
Yeah,
but
and
no.
Al Franken, like, looked like Al Franken, like a young Al Franken.
George Carlin.
Yeah, I forget his name. Is that...
I think somebody left their phone here.
I was going to say that.
Yeah, I was like, that's not me.
I spent hours screaming at my phone, being like, if you go off one time during this podcast, I'm going to smash you before you're paid off. So that's not my phone. And I have a notification. You wouldn't know it.
Pause.
Never mind. It stopped ringing.
They might call back again. Should we answer it? And be like, we have your phone.
The one you're trying to reach is dead.
Just do your full on, like, well, can you do, Chris, can you do like a Liam Neeson impression? Have you ever tried?
Who is this? Who are you looking for? Are you looking for Shannon? Shannon's busy right now. Unfortunately, her mouth is full. Listen to me, and I want you to listen well. Shannon's cheating on you. Shannon's your mother. She doesn't love your father. Your father's dead? Well, this got dark quick, didn't it? Because he's here too. Woo.
So that explains what happened with the phone.
Yeah.
When you said Liam Neeson, I thought Leslie Nielsen, and I was like, no.
I could do a Leslie Nielsen.
I don't know if I can.
Can I?
This is Frank Drebin.
Surely you can't be serious. I am serious.
Just do that Burgess Meredith voice again.
I'm always serious, and don't call me Shirley.
So good. No, but Saturday night is definitely worth checking out, especially if you're a fan of just like any kind of production,
acting, like
any kind of production. Whether it's stage or film or television, I feel like it really captures like a background environment of everything going on.
And the day, I heard it really captures the Saturday feel.
It does. Yeah, it felt like a Saturday.
No worries, you know.
Andy Kaufman, that actor, just crushes it.
I come to save the day.
He looked just like him.
I know.
It was insane.
I haven't seen the movie, but I think I heard that, didn't he play another character?
Yeah, so he plays Jim Henson.
Jim Henson, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And...
Pardon me, I'm sorry.
What the hell was that?
Jackhammer?
Yeah. The actor doubled up, and then because another actor was supposed to play Jim Henson, and the actor dropped out, so he was like, you know what? I'll just put Nicholas Braun in there because SNL is known for playing multiple characters. Why not? And I was like, that's a cool choice.
Serendipitous, man.
Yeah,
like that's
is that
really
crazy?
Funny.
Yeah.
Also, did you see We Live in Time yet?
No, I did not. I had to think of what that was.
Yeah.
But that's the Andrew Garfield movie, right?
Yeah.
No, I have not seen it. It's weird that the movie Here isn't named that, right? Like, I feel like that name fits the movie Here more than Here. I don't know. It's weird.
I'm confused. What?
You know the movie Here coming out with Tom Hanks?
Oh, got it.
And it's like We Live in Time, and it shows like a whole time lapse.
Yeah, that
you know what I mean?
Robert Zemeckis movie.
Yes, yeah. It reteams like a bunch of people from Forrest Gump, because it's like Robin Wright, the cinematographer, Robert Zemeckis, the composer. So it's like a bunch of people who worked on Forrest Gump. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
No, it looks cool.
Yeah,
We Live in Time is sort of like it's like a movie, like, I don't know how you feel about this, but it's in the trailer. Somebody's sick. And it could very easily drift into that, like, I'm not making fun of Nicholas Sparks, but you know what I'm talking about.
Right.
Like that kind of heightened melodrama.
Right.
It's like the best possible outcome for something like that. I thought it was really good. And Andrew Garfield and Florence Pugh are fantastic actors in general. They really just make that movie work. I also, you know this, I love Andrew Garfield.
I mean, hell yeah.
Yeah, he's like, I think probably my favorite like modern-y actor as of right now. Just stick him in anything. I think he's great.
Yeah, he's awesome in pretty much everything he's in. It's never, you never watch a movie and go, man, Andrew Garfield sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you watch his Criterion Closet?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Yeah, it was really fun.
He talked about one movie, Tim Pampo, and I think that's right.
Yeah,
and
if it's not, I'm sure somebody will leave us some messages.
Yeah, but he talks about, he's like, yeah, my dad really wanted us to watch it, and we're like, Dad, we don't want to watch this Japanese movie about ramen. And then and then he grew up in his teens. I think he saw it, and he was like, oh, my dad actually has really good taste. Yeah. In film in general, but it's a really nice moment where he talks about like his father,
because you don't really see that a lot in those.
No,
he made it very like personal.
Yeah.
How about you, fuckface? You see anything new?
I saw Saturday Night.
Oh,
it was great. Can
we talk about it again?
Terrifier 3.
Can we talk about that again?
And Terrifier 3, I do want to say I'm not like into those as much as, you know, our friend Chris Conforti, right?
Yeah.
But like I still appreciate it, and I love what it's doing.
Yeah.
You know, and
they're entertaining.
Right. Yeah, they're fun to watch. Like I was cracking up a lot.
David Howard Thornton, that's his name?
Yeah.
He's awesome. And Lauren Rivera, like they both show up and they just crush it. It's just like, you know what I mean? Like it's a very specific kind of horror film, and like I don't hate them. I just don't like connect with them the way I want to.
I feel like they're not really story driven. Like this one actually is kind of story driven,
A little
which is
more.
like compared to the other two. Like the first one is not. It's just, like I said, a highlight reel of just special effects makeup.
Look what we're gonna do to this person.
Look at this.
That's the plot.
Where the second one kind of had like a little bit of story. This one actually solidifies that story a little bit more.
Yeah, the ending is like lots of fun.
Yeah. So it's
sort of
fun to like see how it progresses, and also you kind of like speculate like, oh, or have like fan theories like, oh, does this mean this? So that's kind of fun. I don't know.
It's gonna be awesome when you get to like Terrifier 4 and all your fan theories probably mean nothing.
Yeah, it's like, oh no.
It's like how
we thought that out too much.
It's like how defeated all those people were when they were watching Lost.
Oh yeah.
Here we go. Here's the payoff. Oh.
Oh man.
I haven't seen any of those Terrifier movies. This Art is a clown.
He's a clown.
It's like a psychopathic clown.
Indeed.
Does he rap at all, like some other psychopathic clowns out there?
I don't know. Like gifts, you mean, or
like mad
like some,
rhymes,
like some sort of insane clown posse.
Something insane.
Yeah.
Does he throw soda at any of his victims?
Perhaps Fago.
You know what? He throws acid at some people.
All right, I've
same thing, right?
I was at one insane clown posse show when I was in 8th grade.
Oh boy!
Shut up! That's insane.
Somebody had to be on acid there. Just probability. I'm sure there was.
It wasn't
one
just somebody.
It was everyone.
Everyone but me. I was really clean
meth.
back then.
Oh.
Yeah. On clean meth. But
it was cooked very well.
This Art fellow, he sounds mischievous.
He is. I would say he's kind of like mischievous and fun.
America's sweetheart.
America's sweetheart.
Yeah.
He's all over the TikTok app. I mean, not him personally, but like other people pretending to be him.
I would love if it was him.
Just actually him.
He's doing all the different trends and stuff. Yeah.
He's like trying to cook.
Yeah.
And then, like something catches on fire, and he's just like, oh,
oh no,
this guy's amazing.
But yeah.
Anything else?
No, I think that's it. Like I think that's it, because other stuff was kind of re-released things
that
I watched, but loved Superman documentary. It was great.
Now, you said you couldn't stop laughing while watching that.
No. Yes. No, I actually...
You said comedy of the year.
Comedy of the year. That's correct.
Yeah.
No, I actually... I watch Good Morning America every day, and the weird thing is, I never put that Will Reeve is his son. Like, so I would watch it and for like years now, and then in the documentary it's like, oh, Will Reeves is his son, and I went, oh my god. Yeah.
You know, him flying around the studio really should have given it away.
I know. It should have. Especially when they would bring in weapons experts and they would shoot at him and it just went in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember the time they brought in that weird, like, green glowing rock and he got real sick and had to go home?
Yeah.
How did you not put that together?
I don't know. I just thought he was sick that day. I was...
We're going to talk after the show.
All right.
Plus, every time he's on camera, he's like,
My dad is Superman. The camera should be on me more because my dad is Superman.
Hey, you running around the hospital. My dad's Superman.
I'm going to be in the new Superman movie as Will fucking Reeve because I can't be Superman because that's my dad. My dad.
Oh.
You're making me do the voice of Crypto.
Oh. What I did hear that James Gunn put Will Reeves into the movie.
Good.
So, yeah.
Good. His footage in that movie made me real sad.
Yeah.
Except with the kids, I was just like, God damn it. But we don't have to stay on that.
Let's talk
Why
about.
are we here?
Yeah, let's
Why
talk
the
about
fuck
the
are we
movie
here?
that we're like supposed to talk about.
I just did a line of coke in the bathroom, and I don't want the high to wear off. Let's just get into it.
Rory told me that this is like one of your favorite movies, right? Like you've seen it a bunch of times.
Not like your favorite, one of your favorites per se, but
one I've seen a lot of times.
Yes.
Yeah, it is one of my favorites in a lot of ways, because of the memories tied to it and the fun we had as youth watching Freddy versus Jason, and then we would go into the parking lot and Freddy versus Jason all over the parking lot, jumping on cars and Freddying, then Jasoning, laughing as Freddy.
Remember you were Monica Keenaning?
I was,
Yeah.
but I never showed my naked boobs.
Yeah.
Ginger Snaps didn't show her real boobs either in that movie.
Calling them by their movie names. No, it's cool. I remember when this movie first came out, it was probably the most excited I've ever been for a movie, because the first time that I kind of got the idea they were going to make it, I'm sure same thing with you guys, was back in 1993.
Yeah.
Because at the end of Jason Goes to Hell, the glove comes up and pulls the mask down, you hear Freddy laugh, and you're like, oh, those two are going to fuck each other up. They would have to. And then they were announcing it for 10 years?
Yeah.
A lot of close calls. They'd be like, this year, Freddy vs. Jason, but it just never happened. And then by the time it finally did happen, it was like the most excited I was as a child. It made me actually have feelings, which was really cool. And then it came out, and we went and saw it together, Chris, and we loved it. And then we saw it together 7 times.
Yeah, because it was in Cinemark. Cinemark was free back then. They didn't make you pay.
Yeah.
I mean, you had to do some things.
We did.
Like
lots of things.
Kick popcorn bags underneath the
That's all you had to do?
seat. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, and I had to make the artificial butter.
Oh.
And I did that by hand.
Well played.
Yeah.
Have you ever actually go through and read some of the earlier drafts that they were going to go with for Freddy vs. Jason? You're
No.
like, well, for all the people who complained about this movie not being what they wanted it to be, go back and read what it could have been, because it could have been awful.
Yeah. I mean, there are weird moments in this.
Lots of them.
But, I don't know. I just remember being so excited, and then when the movie ends, people just being hyped. Like, they were like, that movie rocked. So they didn't screw anything up, and it's surprising they didn't make another sequel or kind of, do more after this, but...
It seemed they tried. Every time a story would come out about it, it would just be like, hey, so we're going to do Ash versus Freddy versus Jason, and it always just turned into this rights thing where they're like, well, we want more money, and we want more money. And, as a result, no one got any money. So good job, studios.
I know.
Not willing to compromise, get you nothing.
Nothing.
But anyway, yeah, it was a really exciting time. You remember the first time you saw it?
Yes, the theater was packed.
Yeah.
And people were like cheering, especially the moment later in the film when they have their first official fight in the real world. And that moment when Freddy comes out and he realizes where he is.
That look on his face, like
everyone's just like, yeah, like screaming.
That music's cool too. It's like,
I remember being a teenager trying to find that, and I didn't know what to put into Napster or LimeWire or Screwy Bear or whatever fucking thing that.
Oh yeah, Screwy Bear.
But like it was like and like
it's so awesome.
It's like really, it's like there's like 1,000 other metal songs that you could find that kind of sound similar, but then like a vocalist comes on and it's like, no, I want that. I used to want to walk around to that.
Yeah,
with my machete, and just like treat people like Jason did in the cornfield.
By the way, thank you for bringing your machete today.
You're welcome.
I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah,
it was completely uncalled for, but it's welcome. It's welcome. I'm not judging it.
I was hoping somebody would have a Freddy glove, so like we could like rub them together.
Well, I got a surprise for you. Hey, I have one memory of the night we saw it. Did you bring a Jason mask and I brought a Freddy sweater? And were we passing out tickets and we didn't work there? There was something we were doing where we were like interacting with people as they were coming in because we were like hams. Just wanted people to look at us or something. Do you remember that?
I don't. I do remember invading people's dreams that night. But I have
a very good memory of you passing, like tearing a ticket. We weren't working there at the time, or maybe you were. I'm not sure exactly what the time frame is, but I just remember you like ripping somebody's ticket and just being like, yeah, enjoy the show.
I might have. That sounds like something I would do.
Enjoy the show, bitch!
Please don't say that to my son.
What movie are you gonna go see?
Bitch.
Shrek 2?
I think you mean Freddy vs. Jason.
Bitch.
Bitch!
My favorite line in that movie though is because like Freddy has a monologue.
Yes.
I like when Jason delivered his famous line of.
That was a classic line.
It was so good.
It was so deep.
I didn't know you thought like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he made me cry in that movie several times.
I remember.
Yeah.
You had to dry your eyes on my old tattered Freddy glove. But let's jump into this film.
Yeah, let's jump into the... Okay, so this film starts with Freddy kind of recapping who he is, his days as the Springwood slasher, and becoming a dream... That's what they called me. And becoming a dream demon. And he gives the setup that people forgot about him now. And if he can't terrorize anyone anymore because they all kind of forgot about him. Due to giving all their kids Hypnocell, which is
that opening. I remember like the way that movie started because it had like the cool ass New Line logo.
Yeah,
and then it had like the. So I was automatically excited for that, and then they just showed that badass montage of the Nightmare movies, and I'm just like, this movie has me. As a fan, I'm like invested at this point. It was really cool,
and I love the kick of the glove at the end of it.
Alice.
Yeah, and then, but luckily in hell, in certain IP rights, Freddy found someone who will make them remember, and that is Jason Voorhees. So we get this sequence of a girl.
Oh, wait, 1 second before we jump ahead. While we're getting the montage, they do show some footage of Robert Englund getting to be Freddy Krueger without the makeup, and there's this. It's a sad shot, but it's like that little girl backing into the wall, and you see like him put his like hand up with the glove, and there's just like the shadow cast on her. Like that's awesome.
It's so good.
That's why they hired Ronnie Yu.
Yeah, man.
Like that.
He did a lot of cool stuff.
He did.
In this movie. Yeah.
It's not as like it's not as refined as it was in like Bride of Chucky, but it's still like a lot of cool visual stuff. I think
Yeah.
he really started to shine at the end when they're actually beating the fuck out of each other.
Yes.
But there's some weird choices.
There's some weird choices.
A lot of so you went with that one, huh? That performance, that's cool.
All right.
It's a choice. I
Okay.
respect you for it. But yeah, that the shadow over the little girl is super cool. There's a Transformers outside.
What is going on out there?
There's I think there's actually like drag races going on outside right now.
Autobots, roll out.
Duke's gonna be okay.
Duke's gonna be okay.
But yeah, I in my notes it just says montage, the right kind of fan service.
Yeah, it really is, and it's cool to see Robert Englund not in the makeup. Finally, kind of like confirming, like he's a child killer. I guess. I mean, we always knew.
Yeah,
And just a
But-
regular guy.
Yeah.
Like he smokes a cigarette in it.
Loves the
relaxed,
boiler
okay?
room.
loves his work.
Yep.
Loves his work.
Admires what he does.
Did do you feel like the biggest missed opportunity with this franchise was not doing like a prequel where he was just like Robert Englund before he became the
Actually,
burned
it's
out
so
guy?
weird that you said that because I literally thought about this while I was writing this episode out. I was like, if they redo this, right, at anything like Nightmare, do the Springwood slasher.
Yeah.
Like, do something like that.
Like-
That would be interesting.
Like, yeah, just do something with Robert Englund while we still have him.
Yeah.
I don't think he wants to because he's
No,
older
I
now.
think he
but,
said he's officially done.
but that's also like Todd Phillips saying, "Hey, I'm not going to do a Joker 2," and they're like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, here's some money." He's like, "I'm going to do Joker 2."
I can't wait to do Joker 2.
Yeah, it's going to be called Filet of Fish. It's going to be awesome.
And we're gonna sing.
What was that, Todd?
We're gonna sing. I still haven't seen that yet.
Todd, do you think a musical component's the right choice for this movie?
You know how the Joker was always singing? He was like, Batman, this is my town. I'll kick you out of my town. Take it, Penguin.
I'm just taking the rule of 3 and kicking it right the fuck out the door.
I love it.
I'm gonna. When the next time you see me, I am gonna be the Penguin. I'm halfway there.
I would like to buy your monocle.
All right.
I would like to invest in the proper monocle.
Also, in that monologue that he does, like over
Yes.
the scene, Freddy Krueger now, not Todd Phillips or the Penguin.
The one that Todd Phillips said, yes.
I've never had the opportunity, but like I'm gonna do another play one of these days. Maybe now, might be 10 years from now. I don't know. But I want to do they'll give me monologues. Be like, no, I'm going to do this monologue, and I just want to do that opening monologue.
Yeah.
My children.
Yeah.
My children. From the very beginning.
See if they let me get to.
I can't come back if nobody remembers me. I can't come back if nobody's afraid.
So I can go up real close, right in their ear, and be like,
So I searched the bowels of hell. And I found someone. Did I ever?
That is absolutely
That was
perfect.
astonishing.
It was outstanding. So we get a sequence of a girl at Crystal Lake who encounters Jason, and it turns out to be a dream Jason is having, and that's when Freddy kind of reawakens Jason. He kind of shows up as his mother in this dream. He's like, "You can't die. You always live, Jason." And so he kind of revives him with the power of speech, and we see that the whole thing's manufactured by Freddy, and we see the rise of like Jason back from the dead.
"You've
pretty
just
cool.
been sleeping, honey."
Oh, I am?
Oh,
Alright.
Okay.
I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna kill people for you, Ma. Even though you're not my real Ma. You're not Betsy Palmer.
That was a bummer. I heard that they
yeah,
did off-
she wanted to do
yeah,
it.
they just
Yeah.
wouldn't pay her anything reasonable.
That's ridiculous. They have
know.
the money. Ronnie Yu has the money. I know he's not the producer.
New Line
but
had the
Ronnie
money.
Yu-
At that point in his career, he had barely touched his Brad Chucky money.
Right. Yeah.
So he could
So
have done it.
we get the cool opening credits, which is just like slashing and like flesh getting
Freddy
slashed
laughing.
and Freddy laughing. And now the film starts at 1428 Elm Street, where Laurie and her friends Kia and Gib are playing Mary effing Kill. And I'm proud to say that I'm always chosen as the kill in that game.
You're gonna keep throwing that in my face, huh?
So Gib throws out MFK for Fred, Scooby, and Shaggy and one of the Three Stooges. But that's when Gib's boyfriend shows up, I guess you would say. Trey with his pal Blake, bringing some beer. And Kia...
My notes just say, Trey, why so likable?
He's so likable. Yeah. So cool.
I like that fucking coat he has. I'm pretty sure I had that at that time.
Oh, really?
And, yeah, like 2001, 2002. It was kind of a trendy thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the friends at Blake? I had Blake's. Well, I think all of us had Blake's sweater.
We all had that sweater.
Like it was issued if you lived in the suburbs.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, 100%.
Sweater.
It was like Old Navy, right?
It's like a Boy Meets World sweater.
Yeah, it really was.
I got into like college.
So we see where Blake comes and Blake is trying to chat up with Laurie, but she's still hung up on her first love, Will.
It's not just that. It's just that like Blake comes off like he's never interacted with a human being before.
Okay, wait.
Feng shui.
Can I ask you a weird question? Did
Yeah.
you think Blake was going to be the lead male in this film at one point?
Never in his career
No?
will he ever get to be a lead male.
No, I know, but did you at one point in this movie were you like, oh, is he our lead male?
No.
No, okay, because I did at one point, like especially the father. See, we'll get to that.
Oh,
but,
that's what we
Yeah.
need to talk about. Is
Yeah.
that.
Oh my god. So, Gib and Trey, they head upstairs for some studioing, and downstairs, Laurie brings up the lack of dating, and it might be because her mom died, and then that's when the power goes out. So upstairs, Trey proves to be a classy gentleman and tells Gib to go shower because she smells like menthols.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, this guy.
Babe, you know I don't like to be touched afterwards.
Yeah.
I like, hey, Catherine Isabel.
Yeah, she's great.
Second time on Frequels.
Yeah.
We did Ginger Snaps.
She's awesome in this, even though it's like short, but she's great.
Now, in my opinion, she should have been the lead.
I think so,
We're talking
too.
about the leads and everything. I would have switched her out because she's a very good actress.
Yeah, she's really good.
That's probably why she wasn't the lead, though. She had another project.
Yeah.
They were lucky
Exactly.
to get her.
Yeah, she's I love we talked about Ginger Snaps.
Yeah,
that movie rocks.
she's amazing in that. So we see where this is when Jason shows up, and he ends up killing Trey brutally, like maybe the worst death in this movie. I would think. I would say so.
Yeah,
right?
it was awesome. I remember the first night that happened, and like the theater erupted into applause.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah, because not only does he get stabbed in the back with like Jason's machete numerous times, but then Jason's like, I'm not done yet. So he folds the bed in half, and we see Trey's body just like, it's gross.
Hey,
Fold in half.
I'm gonna keep coming back to this at different points, but I have a theory that these are like the worst friends ever.
Yeah.
Because I like that Gib goes up and has sex in the spot where Laurie's mother was murdered.
Yeah, right? It's like, you know what?
Very
This
sensitive
seems
friend.
like a good room for this.
They have to have other bedrooms.
Nope.
You know?
That was the one. That was the bed. Yeah.
You think she was like sticking it to her?
Trey was like, it has to be in the murder bed. You know I can't get hard if it's not in a murder bed.
Babe, I'm not going to ask you twice. So that's when Gib finds him dead, and we see them all kind of run out of the house to the cop car, which is Gib, who is played by Lachlan Monroe. And
Second time Frequels
yeah,
person.
love him just as a person in general. Lachlan Monroe is
We
like
got
the
to hang
coolest.
out with him
Yeah,
recently.
and he was freaking awesome.
He's a very charming guy.
Yeah. So the police
Slipped him my
discuss.
phone number, I did. But we don't have to talk about that.
And he won't stop calling.
He won't stop calling.
He's actually calling me right now.
If you're listening, please.
Lachlan, listen.
Listen, bud. So the police discuss if it's possibly Freddy Krueger and if he's back. And Rory kind of overhears the name a little bit. And so it cuts over to the station, and Stubbs is trying to give coffee to Rory. And she brings up, she's like, do we know who it is? I heard a name the cops were saying. And he's like, hey, listen, I'm new to the town. But if we find out anything, we'll let you know. You'll be the first one to know. So he steps out, and that's when Laurie's waiting. She tries to remember the name that she overheard, and then finally she remembers hearing Freddy. So she then has a nightmare.
She puts her head down in the table, and she's asleep.
Falls asleep instantly.
She must have popped some melatonin before she left the house or something.
Or narcolepsy? I don't know. Like she just like
she
falls
puts her head
asleep.
down. She's like, Freddy Krueger, and it's just like, oh, we're dreaming now.
Yeah. And so
those fucking photos of the missing kids.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's cool.
That's
really
cool.
They actually borrowed that from Hogwarts.
Oh, yeah, they did. Actually. Yeah. No, that's such a great visual.
It is. It's awesome.
It's that whole nightmare sequence is really neat. And so she comes across this little girl crying, and we recognize this little girl as the girl from the opening credits who the Springwood slasher got. And we notice that her eyes are kind of like carved out, which is kind of interesting. I don't know. And then as soon as like she sees like the house again, and the girls with the jump rope, and they're singing, and as soon as she's like getting close to them, Freddy pops out. He's just like, hey, and she was like, ah, and wakes up.
Is that what he says? Does he say hey?
No, he just goes, Ugh. Or maybe, I don't know.
I thought he said like bitch.
Bitch. Did he?
Oh, bitch.
Bitch.
What do you think?
It's possible.
He mutters something.
I think he says,
Rory! It's me, Freddy Krueger.
Remember me?
Bitch!
Bitch. So at Blake's, his dad gives him a hard time about not watching his sister. And he freaks out. He's like, Dad, my BFFFF just died.
He turns into Nicolas Cage for a second.
Yeah. Whoa. Whoa.
Just kill, Dad.
Dad. And then we see where Blake has a nightmare of Freddy.
Wait, just real quick.
Yeah.
That dad just couldn't give him like 30 seconds to
I know.
grieve.
Yeah, he's like,
It's like, my best friend
Hey.
was killed. He's just like, you better watch yourself.
you should have watched your sister. But yeah, so he has a nightmare of Freddy, and we see Freddy down the street. It's a really cool shot. And Freddy turns into like this shadow form, and it like goes to kill Blake, but it isn't strong enough yet. And I love Blake's weird reaction, like slash
okay.
ADR. I'm okay. I'm all right.
It's really bad ADR.
It's so bad.
First thing,
I'm okay. I'm all right.
just have to throw it out there. There's an excellent goat actor.
Yes.
There.
Oh, yeah.
He was quite good. Johnny Goatington was his name. And question. So, is Freddy talking to us? Because he's like looking at the camera. And he's just like, not strong enough
Not
yet.
strong enough
Well,
yet.
I will be.
Well, I will be.
Well, then let Jason have some fun. And I'm like, is
Yeah.
he talking to me?
It's like, oh, thanks, man. Yeah, no, there's some
He's
weird.
like breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah, there's some weird stuff going on.
I wish he looked into the camera. He's like, hey, everybody out there, you having fun?
Yeah. You having a good time?
Hope the 10 years was worth the wait.
I'm not strong enough yet, but I will be.
As soon as I'm strong enough, I'm gonna kill somebody. You wait and see.
It's going to be crazy.
You're going to be like, fuck.
I really wish I got to kill this douchebag, though. Feng Shui. Have you ever seen a girl before?
Freaking A, man.
You don't shove a flask in someone's face. He just shoves the flask in that girl's face. And of course she says no. Nobody wants your spit-ridden whiskey. Nice sweater, bitch.
So we see where Blake then wakes up, and his dad is sitting next to him, and he goes, Dad, are you all right? And then, because the dad's kind of staring off, and as soon as he touches the dad's shoulder, the dad's head rolls off. And then he looks over and Jason's there, and we see Jason like just pretty much kill Blake.
He tries to block the machete with the head.
Yeah, which is hilarious. It's so good. It's like, that's your dad.
I guess you probably would do that, though, in the moment. It's like, what can you do at that moment?
Like, what do I do?
Maybe the skull will stop that shark.
But I also thought, like, now the sister has no one to watch her, I guess, right? Because Blake's gone and the dad's gone.
She needs a spinoff movie.
Yeah, right? I don't know. So at Weston Hills, we see Lori's
What's it
ex.
called?
Weston Hills, not Western. So Lori's ex Will and his buddy Mark, who is incredible in this movie.
Yeah,
I feel like Mark's
Brendan Fletcher.
Yeah, Brendan Fletcher.
I love him.
Yeah, and Jason Ritter plays Will. But Brendan Fletcher in this, Mark, is probably my favorite performance. I feel like he gives like the best acting.
He understands the material.
Yeah. You could tell that he's right at home in the movie. Like, he gives that like panicked, like doom and gloom guy, and like he just does it really well. And like you could tell it was probably a dream of his to be in a movie like this because he really sold it.
Yeah,
he's real likable too.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, I'm a Nuno guy.
Yeah, and Will's kind of like a d-bag a little bit to him in a little bit, but anyways,
all those kids we're gonna talk about.
Yeah,
they're all terrible.
Well, that's because he kept going around the set going, "My daddy's John Ritter. My dad's John Ritter. I'm John Ritter's son. So I get to say where I get to stand. No one else. Move my mark to there."
Will Reeves, will you come in here and talk to Jason Ritter, please?
My dad was Superman. My dad was Superman. He was better than your dad. Three's Company was a dumb show. And then Will Ritter's like, "Our dads used to be friends, but we're not friends because I don't like you. You're just going to be a news anchor." And Will Reeves was like, "You're going to be on TikTok, and no one's going to watch you." And Jason was like, "Swartz will." Then I do.
Swartz does.
I see his legs coming in.
I liked watching you land that. You did a really good job, like landing the plane.
So we see where they're getting their meds, and Will happens to catch the news, and he sees Lori's house on the TV, and something about a murder. So he's like, "Oh, could you put that back on?" And the orderly turns it off, and he just keeps it off, and he's like, "Put the TV back on!" And he starts to freak out.
Why is that guy such a dick?
Yeah.
Yeah, like you're at a psychiatric hospial. A little fucking compassion, maybe.
He's
Right.
like, "Oh, I think my friend was murdered," and he's just
I
like,
know the person that
fuck
lives
you.
there. And it's like,
I don't know, make me not my problem.
He
yeah.
was like, "No one was ever murdered on Elm Street."
My friend lives there. I missed the part where that's my problem. So Will wants to get Will wants to get out to see if Lori is okay, and his buddy Mark is like trying to calm him down. He's like, "Hey man, it's okay, like calm down a little bit." And then we see where he's like, maybe like something, it's Elm Street, right? So maybe it's like Freddy. He's like, "Get out of here with your bullshit dream demon shit." And I'm like, yo, like Mark is like trying to like talk you down a little bit, and I feel like he's like, "You're crazy, like you don't know what you're talking about." And I'm like, what kind of friendship is this, right?
I'm telling you, dude, we're gonna talk about this later. These kids, they suck as friends. Every one of them.
So that night we have Mark's. He kind of helps distract the guards, and then he ends up stealing the keys.
Ape impression.
Oh, outstanding. So we see where Will and Mark, they make their escape. Meanwhile, Lori is back home, and it's the next day, and her dad is trying to talk to Lori into not going into school, but she's like, "No, Dad, I insist I have to go to school. Like, I just need to get out of the house."
No kid has ever said that.
Yeah, like, no kid would ever be like, "Yeah, you know what? I should go to school tonight."
If my parents were like, "Oh, you should stay home," they wouldn't even finish their sentence, and I'd be like, okay.
Okay.
I'd be like already back in bed, exactly. A little puff of smoke.
I'll be up for Price is Right at 12.
Tell me when David the Gnome starts.
Yeah. So at school, Lori and her friends meet up, and Gib tells...
Oh, wait. Do you remember when we saw this movie?
Yep.
That's all I have left.
Everything was all he had left. When the drink your juice, It's all I have left.
It's all I have left.
I think it was like the 5th time we saw that. It was every time that guy was on screen, it's just like, please take your pills. It's all we have left.
Yeah.
When the sheriff comes in, it's all coming apart again. And it's all I have left. Don't leave. You're all I have left.
I was kind of hoping that, like, he put the juice on the counter and then just walked out of the room. And the cop's like, perfectly good juice, and just drinks it and passes out.
Yeah.
That'd be a good comedy beat.
I would love that. But yeah, at school, Lori and her friends meet up, and we see where Gib tells Lori that Blake and his dad were also murdered. And that's when Kia, Kelly Rowland, of Destiny's Child, really tries to go for it as an actor with just one note of just being pissed off, which was, I was like, what? She's really going for it right now.
She compares the slashings to Columbine.
Yeah.
These are very different weapons, Kia.
Very different scenarios, too.
It's like, they think it's Blake, and Blake murdered, Trey, and now he murdered his dad, and then he killed himself. And it's like, didn't he, they say he died from, stab wounds? It's not like he was like...
First of all, like Blake probably... based off how strong Jason is, that machete coming down on him would not be written off as a suicide.
No,
that is a very obvious homicide.
Yeah. So inside the school, we meet Linderman, who's a classmate.
Fanboys. What's his name?
Christopher Marquette.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
I love him, especially in Fanboys. He's so good.
Linus.
But he tries to give Lori some support. And then we meet Kmart Jason Mewes and his buddy School of Schlock. And
oh, I can't reach it, but high five. There we go.
And they're throwing a rave. And they tell Gib, hey, you know what's the best thing to do when you're mourning? Go to a rave. It's going to be awesome. And she's like, you know what? You're probably right. I'm
it's
like,
weird.
what?
I've never heard that before.
Yeah. She agrees. Oh yeah, you know what? You make a lot don't
You need grain alcohol and club drugs.
Yeah,
that's what you need. Do you remember? I was over your house at this point with Chris Conforti.
Yeah.
And we figured out that Evangeline Lilly was in the hallway.
Yes.
Isn't that weird? She's just walking around. The wasp.
Right.
Is just walking around.
Yeah. So in the hallway, Lori starts to tell her friends about Freddy Krueger, right? She's like, I remember this guy, and she's going over the house, and he has a hat, a sweater, gloves, and she's about to go into the song when we kind of overhear Mark step in, and he starts singing to her. He shows he's like, 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you, and then by the way, if you look closely in that scene, that's where you specifically see Wasp, Evangeline Lilly from Lost, and it's just insane.
It's so funny because if you watch it, she can't figure out which face she wants to go with.
Yeah, she's scared, and then she's surprised.
Yeah, she's going with all the faces.
Yeah.
One thing I laughed at really hard last night is the first time I really thought about this. All the kids in that hallway are so invested in this drama.
Yeah.
They're all just like I wanted there to just be like a cutaway to a kid just like eating popcorn.
One pulls up tiny binoculars.
They have like box seats in the hallway. Yeah. Like those two fucking Muppets. This movie sucks.
Sounds like Freddy's back. Good, maybe he'll get rid of some of these bad actors.
So, but anyways, as Mark lays out his all his knowledge about Freddy, he's like, coffee, make friends with it. I love that line, by the way.
He sells it.
He does. A lot of other people probably couldn't do that, but he actually does it. He lands it.
That's a fall in your face line.
Yeah.
If you don't do it right. And he's awesome.
He's great in this. And then as he's talking about Freddy, that's when Will shows up. He's like, yo, Mark, chill, all right? Calm down a little bit.
Mark, why are you yelling at her?
And then, Lori spots Will, and she just passes out. She's like, oh, no, my ex-boyfriend. And she just, faints. Which
reasonable response.
Yeah, that always confused me. I'm like, why did she faint? Is it why did that happen?
Because she didn't drink her fucking juice. She didn't get her vitamins, minerals, and Hypnosil that day.
That's all she has. So in the nurse's office,
with a wonderful sign on the desk that says, "Sorry, the nurse can't help you."
Yeah.
Well, why are you here, lady?
Yeah. We see Kia has a quick nightmare of Freddy as she's looking through. She's like, before she talks about, oh, maybe I should get a nose job. So she's like looking through a plastic surgery magazine, and we see where Freddy's glove like pops up and
Got your nose.
Got your nose.
Hey, she's another one, man. She goes right to sleep. She's just flipping through the magazine.
Yeah.
She falls right to sleep. Like, to me, like, at night, I just kind of, like, lie in bed and all my anxieties wash over me. And I start panicking about the state of my life. And I start hearing things around. These kids just fall right to sleep. Maybe they don't have the same emotional problems that I do.
Yeah.
Do you guys have that problem?
I'm surprised she went to school the next day, too. And by the way...
They're all there.
They're all there. And then also, like, the night before... It seems like they're out like really, really late, right? Like at the house, and they all like went to school the next day, so they party like that hard on a Sunday.
I was gonna say, yeah,
or whatever.
That to me, like that night read like a Friday or a Saturday.
Yeah,
but it's the next day. They're back in school.
You know what though? When you were that young, that's how life used to be. Like you could hang out super late and then go do whatever after all your friends got murdered.
That's true. Yeah,
we had a lot of friends get murdered.
Yeah. Well,
ton of friends.
They hung out with us.
Wait, you know what? It had to be on Thursday because isn't the rave that night? So wait, so like they had like a rager at Lori's, right? Say it's like Thursday. And then Friday night is the rave. Because aren't they like, the rave is tonight?
I think I can explain it.
Okay.
There's probably like an earlier scene where they just got together to watch the last season of Friends.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
They're having like a Friends watch-along party.
Yeah.
The original that got your nose line was the second thing they went with. The first thing they went with, where he comes out, grabs her by the nose, and just goes, "You ain't got shit on Beyonce, and you never will. And this movie is a clear example about how you will never be as good as Beyonce. Got your nose."
She's just like, too mean.
Ronnie, could you tell Robert to like back up a little bit?
I'm a big fan of Beyonce.
I can't help it.
She's a national treasure.
I'm in the fucking scene, all right? But
seriously, I have a hard time sleeping at night because of all my anxiety. So thanks for just blowing past it. But we can go.
Yeah. So meanwhile,
I'm sure I'll be okay.
Mark and Will run from the police and straight to
Bob Shea.
Oh yeah. Who is the principal? He shows up.
He's in all the Nightmare movies.
And then we see like the cops arrive, and that's when Will and Mark, they just kind of run out of the school and straight to the library. And
anyone else waiting, like whenever they've run out of the school, does anyone else have it like just waiting for that song to start playing? The one that's like, I'm paranoid. You know that song? I think that would have fit very nicely there.
Yeah.
Or is there a very similar scene with that song in the movie Disturbing Behavior? Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
We should talk about that sometime.
We should talk about that. So as the Mark is trying to prove to Will at the library that Freddy is real, and he sees like all these news stories where stuff is like blocked out, like the death of this person or this person. He's like, yo, I'm pretty sure they kept us quarantined. Like, they didn't want us around other people, right? And Will's like, I don't know. You seem like you're crazy. Like, he does.
Like, he's reluctant to believe. You know, real quick, I forgot to mention this. I like when there's like when they're in the hallway still.
Yeah.
And then the police just announce their name from the end of the hallway and just slowly approach them. Giving them plenty of ample time just to run away.
Just to run away. There's some funny... Oh, my God. There's this weird cut from the library to where they're just in the back of the van. And
Ronnie, you seems to think that, like... that American kids like really like to just hang out in a van and discuss what's going on in their lives.
And
did you notice that? Because in Bride of Chucky, there's I think almost the exact same van as in that movie.
It is. It really. It's like the same make and model, I think. Yeah. But we also see where Mark starts to realize he just spread the word of Freddy at school. He's like, oh shit, I think I just made it worse because I told everyone at the school about Freddy and like, you know, pretty much ran down every detail that I could.
I probably shouldn't have done that.
He's like, I fudged the bull big time.
Probably should have pulled back a little bit.
I probably could have. But Mark then is like, yeah, you could borrow my van so you could go to the rave tonight, right? And Mark's like, I'll just stay here for the night.
Will's like, I can't go. I wasn't invited.
But Will wants to go.
A funny little like comedy scene where like Will trying to get into the cornfield party and there's just people there like, nah, I can't let you in. You gotta have an invite.
Yeah, sorry.
Invite only.
Corn poke.
Yeah. And you weren't invited.
So at the rave, everyone's having fun. Linderman cuts down Kia about about wearing too much makeup. Kmart J. Muse talks about how Trey got shredded the night before in front of Gibb, and then we see Linderman kisses his chances with Lori goodbye when Will shows up.
Two things. Do you remember when you were in high school?
Yeah.
All the parties that were in the cornfield?
No.
Okay. So number two.
I do. It was just me and the Scarecrow, though. He was the greatest lover I've ever known.
It's like the Pearl movie.
Yeah.
That scene where Linderman is ripping into Kia.
Yeah.
That reads to me like there was probably some girl that was real nasty to the writer in real life.
Yeah.
And he just was like projecting.
It's like, you wear too much makeup to compensate for how ugly you are.
Dude, it's literally a conversation somebody has in their head when someone gives them shit in high school.
Yeah.
You just rip on me because you hate yourself. And it's like, no, it's actually because you're like real off-putting and weird. That's
Right.
why I don't like you. But I that's how I was reading to me last night. It's probably just like some conversation he had in his head. I could be wrong. Hey, writers from Freddy vs. Jason, write to us and let me know if I'm reaching.
I like when Linderman was like, you know what, Kia? You are the weakest member of Destiny's Child. Actually, you're not even the weakest member because I don't remember the other girl's name, but you're the one everyone remembers as the bad one.
He tears his shirt open and just Beyonce's underneath. Queen Bee.
Yeah. Queen Bee. So,
Who run the world, girls?
So Gibb goes off on her own, and she sees like a dead version of Trey. But in reality, it's a nightmare, and it leads her right to Freddy's boiler room. And as Gibb deals with Freddy, and Freddy's about to kill her, she actually gets killed by Jason in the real world, along with the ultimate raver, Scotty Turati. By the way, he got what he deserved.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
No one's mourning that guy.
Yeah. He looked like a cartoon character.
He sure did.
He had more glow sticks than Five Below. I don't know. Like, it was
That guy used to pick on me at the Steamtown Mall. He used to hang out by the arcade and he used to pick on me.
It's like, hey, you. And you're like, oh no, glow stick guy.
Why you wearing normal clothes, normal clothesy?
Yeah, and his jeans were like oversized. I don't know. It was
very indicative of the time in which this movie was made.
Right. Yeah, it was just very, very 2000s for sure.
If anybody sees it now, they watch this movie for the first time, it's gonna look like what happened on the set of Power Rangers when they ran out of budget.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I would say that's like a late 90s fashion, wasn't it? Like the extra like
Was
large.
it ever a fashion?
I don't know.
For some it was.
Yeah. I think it was, but I feel like it was like late 90s, like he was stuck in the 90s a little bit.
Maybe.
I tried on raver pants when I was in 8th grade.
Yeah.
I was walking around with them. They got dirty really fast. And I felt like such a it's rare that I'm embarrassed, especially at that age, but I'm like, this look isn't for me.
Like, how do you run in those? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like your feet would just like flop. Like the bottom like of the like jeans are so huge, like you could literally, they look like a lampshade.
There's actually instruction manuals that come with the pants. It says like, if you're in danger, just lay down and give up.
Yeah. Okay.
Unless there's techno music playing and you're on ecstasy, because then you could fly with them.
Right. They're like Dumbo's ears.
But
like,
yeah.
it's just
That's what they look like.
right. Exactly.
You can only fly if you know how to do the liquid dance, though. I can't do it. There's no visual, but
the raver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, no one at home can see this. We're all doing the little
We're all
raver
doing it.
dance.
and I could actually do it and don't look bad doing it.
I know. Whoa! I can't believe what we're seeing right now.
What are you doing?
Well, hang on.
What?
Let me cook.
Oh my god! It just got so hot in here.
Jeez.
Oh!
Oh no! One of the glow sticks burst open and sprayed Chris in the eyes.
Oh god, it burns so bad.
Should we call an ambulance?
No, let him learn.
Okay.
Yeah. And never call an ambulance. Always call a cab. You kids at home, remember that.
Don't call a doctor. Call my DJ.
Call my DJ.
You'll know what to do.
He's dealt with this before. So back at the rave, we see where School Shock and his buddy encounter Jason, and the jock guy gets killed instantly. I love when he is
Pushes him over.
yeah, he's like trying to push Jason. He's like, "You get out of here, man. You're not invited."
Yeah.
And he just grabs his head. Jason grabs that guy's head and just twists it all the way around. And
It's
then,
cool.
Oh, it's awesome.
One other thing. So when you first, I'm sorry, we're backtracking just a little bit. When we first see Lori, she's sitting on the hood of a car. What the fuck is she doing?
She's
just kinda
dancing.
no, she's not dancing.
It's not dancing,
She's
but
just
she
kinda
like thinks it's dancing.
I don't know. It's very.
She didn't have her. Wait, first off, she didn't have her orange juice that day.
That's exactly what happened. That her dad's in the cornfield. Like, I told you.
You're having a little seizure, Lori.
You seem off, Lori. That's why. So as the other guy, he like sets Jason on fire. So he throws his alcohol on him, and he grabs like a torch, and then he lights Jason on fire, and then he runs away. And we see where Jason just throws his machete into that guy. What a great sequence. Yeah. And then we see where Jason just wreaks havoc on the entire rave, killing almost like everyone within his machete length.
I was convinced that this was like an extended scene that we were gonna get when the DVD dropped.
Yeah.
I felt like it could have just kept going. It was so awesome.
I know.
Yeah.
It's insane.
That was my favorite. I think that might be my favorite part in the movie, but also like my favorite seeing Jason do anything, because he's just like, it's just like gratuitous. Like he's just get everyone's in his way and he's fucking them all up.
Yeah.
Do you know,
I love when he slashes the guy on the beer keg, and then the
Yeah.
keg, like he misses and
Puts the fire
it like
out.
puts the fire out. It's such a cool looking sequence.
Do you know what my favorite
Yeah.
scene in the cornfield is? It's actually when Will and Lori are talking, and he's like, didn't you get any of my letters? And she's like, what letters? And he yells at her, he's like, I wrote to you every single day for a year. Do you remember that?
Yeah. And then they woke up in a retirement home.
I was like, please get my Notebook reference. Don't let me out here to try.
Yes. Got it.
I saw it last night. I was real proud of it when I was writing it down. I was like, they're going to laugh.
I wrote you every day.
And then like I felt you weren't laughing, and I'm like, oh shit.
No. Crushed it. Crushed it.
I never saw that movie.
No? It's wonderful.
I'm deathly afraid of Ryan Gosling.
Are you?
Yeah. When I was living in New York, it was
Used to live under your bed.
real late at night. He used to come out from under the bed, and he was like, "Why won't you watch The Notebook?"
He's just holding a copy up.
It's like He's just dancing in your room.
La La Land dance. Is that what you were doing?
Yeah.
We would compromise, and I would watch Remember the Titans, and he'd be like,
Oh.
"It was fucking in there."
We're almost there.
We're getting there.
We're getting there. We're gonna see eye to eye sooner or later, Chris.
So, Will, Lori, Kia, Linderman, and Kmart J. Muse all escape in Will's van. Well, technically Mark's van. And they escape this horrific mass murder. And they all decide to just go home.
So this goes into that thing. I think all these kids are like terrible narcissists because here's the thing:
they don't go to the cops or anything.
That's the problem because like when they get out of there, like Jason's literally at that point just like chopping up all their classmates, people they see every single day.
Evangeline Lilly's probably dead,
on fire, possibly. Something. But they book it out of there, and then they drive home and park.
They just call it a day.
They call it a day and feel sorry for themselves. Like, oh man, I can't believe Gibbs gone. I'm like, fuck, half your class is gone. You have no one to graduate with. Call the cops.
Like they just like, all right, let's just go
cops.
home.
That comes back later.
Fuck the cops.
But like, in terms of being able to help you, but you still should report murders.
Especially since most of you were at the last murder.
Right. And just be like, you know what?
Before that.
I think we know who it is now. Like Lori spent the whole day investigating, like the night before, in the cops, like being investigated. Not investigated, but, like at the headquarters. And then she's like, who could it be? Who could it be? It's like, you saw who it is now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I could identify the killer. But she's like, you know what? Let's just go home. Let's just call it a day.
Yeah.
It's cool. That wasn't the guy in my dream. So
That was a different murderer.
That's a different guy.
Nothing to worry about.
Yeah. He seems all right. But
he seems more manageable.
So half your class is dead. If you think we're bad and we're narcissists, you should meet those assholes. Well, you can't now, but when they were around, fuck them, man. Good.
There literally could have been a scene where like they're driving away, someone pulls out their cell and calls the police,
right,
to try to help some of the people that still had a chance. The cops could have showed up, distracted Jason, some more of them could have gotten out there, but no, they needed to go home.
Yeah, they're like, rough day, man. What a Friday this was.
Hell of a rave.
Hell of a rave. So when Will drops off Lori, he says he saw her dad kill her mom. And we get like a little bit of what he saw.
Did we talk about Gib actually getting killed?
Oh, yeah.
We did touch on that? Okay.
Yeah.
I was drinking at the time. So,
so then Lori's dad shows up.
Gib.
Oh, and that pisses off Freddy, by the way. We did not talk about that.
Here's mine.
He had the cool, sharp teeth, too.
Yeah.
Real cool looking.
He looked awesome. Well, there's so many scenes in this, like the demon-looking Freddy, and even in the beginning, I forgot to mention this. His eyes
contacts.
with like the veins and stuff.
This is a Freddy movie.
Yeah.
Robert Englund is like, this is the last time he technically played Freddy in like a feature-length movie, and just went out with a bang.
Yeah.
Literally, because he explodes at one point.
Yeah, he does. So when Will drops off Lori, he says he saw her dad kill her mom. Then Lori's dad
says
shows
it like
up.
he's like trying not to laugh.
Yeah.
It's a weird performance because he's like, I saw your dad trying to kill your mom.
It's like John Travolta. So your mom trying to kill your dad. So then Lori's dad shows up and she asks her dad, like they get into like a bit of a fight, and she's like, how did mom die? Right? And it wasn't a car accident, was it? She's like, show me the death certificate. And I like that the dad actually like checks his pocket. Like, like I might have it on me.
Oh, I left it in my blazer.
He actually like touches his pockets. But then as soon as she, has this fight with him, she actually runs off and she sneaks out of the house and she runs and finds Will. Meanwhile,
her father is acting very suspicious, though.
Yeah.
Oh, for real. Like, he could at any point, like right after the murder, he could have been like, you really need to drink this juice because there's a dream demon.
Right.
This is how your mom really died. I'm trying to look out for you. But he doesn't do that. He just gets really shady. And then, like, right after Will's like, I saw your dad kill your mom, he's outside, like, get out of the van! Get out of the van!
Yeah.
I wish he had like a kitchen knife in his hand. Get out of the van!
And if you're wondering if they ever come back to the dad and all these issues, they don't.
No.
So, anyways.
They left the dad just kind of like running around the house screaming, Lori!
Lori!
He's like,
she's all I
he
have.
opens the window up.
Yeah.
Have you seen me screaming out the window?
Yeah.
I wish there was like an elongated sequence where he was just like running into every single room of the house.
Right.
Lori! Like opens the toilet up, sticks his head inside. Lori!
He opens up the
It's just
fridge.
like a swirly. It's like in the water of the toilet.
He opens up the fridge. There's nothing but orange juice, and he's gonna be like, "Who's gonna help me drink all this juice? I have nothing left."
Oh my gosh. That's all I have. So meanwhile, Will's buddy from the asylum, Mark, he's at home and he starts to have a nightmare of Freddy.
Looking at photos of Scott Farkas.
Yeah, and
I heard his eyes were yellow.
Yellow eyes.
And what a perfect person to play like a possessed Freddy, right? Like Farkas.
He's awesome.
He's so good. And we see
That's right. Everybody forgot.
I love when he like lifts his arm from the
Yeah,
bathtub
so
and you just see
cool.
blood splatter all over.
This is worse than when that little prick Ralphie beat me up. And my nose was bleeding. And my little toady ran away. He said he was going to tell his dad, but his dad didn't talk to him. The words coming out of his mouth, his family should be ashamed.
He didn't say fudge. He didn't say fudge at all. So what? So by the way, I do love the shot of as he's having this nightmare, his feet seem to like be grounded to like the floor, like these little like I don't know like
Vein looking thing.
vein things like stab him in his feet.
it's cool.
And he's like can't move. And I love that overhead shot. And he's like, "Somebody wake me up." That is like one of the coolest moments in this movie.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's great. I also appreciate when Freddy's in the Scott Farkas body.
Yeah.
And decides to reiterate the plot again.
Yes. Yeah.
He's really mad at Jason.
Yeah. He's pissed.
That's hockey puck.
Does a little Don Rickles there.
Yeah. So Will and Lori arrive at Mark's. But I love how they have like this urgency. Like there's no reason for it. Like they don't know Mark is in trouble, but they like show up like speeding to his house, and then they run out and they're like, "Mark, Mark," and they're like banging on the door, and then they run around to the window and that they witness Mark getting murdered by Freddy. But it's such a weird like they didn't know that he was in danger. They just like showed up and they're like, "Mark, Mark, Mark."
I never thought about that.
Yeah.
They're just immediately like freaking out.
Right. It's such a weird like if they really arrived, right? Because they just had that issue with the dad. They would probably like would be kind of calm or like settled down a little bit by now. Because it's not like they came right from the rave. Like if they came from the rave and they're like, "Ah," right? But they literally came from like a discussion, and so
Mark's been by himself for over 8 hours. He gets scared. Come on, Lori, let's go.
let's go.
I knew it. Look at how scared he is.
So we see the murder of Mark, and it is awesome. It's really good. It's kind of like Tina in a way, where he's getting thrown around the room, and eventually, he falls against the wall, and they see written on his back, Freddy's back.
But technically, it's Mark's back.
And technically, it's
Also,
Mark's back.
When I doubt he was gonna honor this, but like when he's like, "I want you to spread a little message for me," and Mark goes, "No way." If Freddy was like, "I want you to tell some, I have a message you need to tell everyone else," I'd be like, "All right."
Are you gonna? Because you probably won't kill me if you need me to go tell people something, right? I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in.
I'll kill you later, but I won't kill you now.
Oh, fair enough.
Good.
Oh, okay.
Fair enough.
That's good.
I feel like this is a good deal.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it buys me a little more time to say goodbye to people.
Yeah. Well, at the very least, figure out a way to stop him.
Right. Yeah. So at the station, Stubbs goes to the sheriff about Jason Voorhees, and he's like, "Listen, I just looked up I did this research about a guy in a hockey mask, and I think it's a copycat killer." And that's when the sheriff pretty much says, "We actually don't do any police work here. Understand?"
I thought you understood the job.
We don't do that.
Nothing.
We just cover everything up.
And we talk with cigars in our hands. Gonna get you. Gonna get you with it.
It helps get your point across.
We don't do that.
Go get your hair tipped just like the rest of this precinct.
So Will and Lori show up, and they meet up with Kia Linderman and Mewtwo. That's a Pokemon reference.
Okay.
Jason Mewtwo. So as they discuss both Freddy and Jason, that's when Stubbs randomly shows up, stepping out of the shadows like Nick Fury. He's like, "Hey, I'm here to help you," and they're like, "Whoa!"
You think you're dealing with the only dream demon in the galaxy?
Hey guys, my boss just yelled at me and I had a super good idea. I'm gonna tell it to you guys.
I like that he just kind of waited though for someone to give him a cue to walk out of the shadows.
Yeah. It's just like, what is that?
And then they're like, oh, how'd you find us? He's like, oh, your Scooby-Doo van parked out back was a dead giveaway. I'm like, what does that mean?
Yeah, you didn't say them drive that earlier.
You have no context of who any of these people are.
Yeah, like you never saw that van once, right? Like there's probably no reports
Is there
unless
one
the dad
house
gave a
in the
report.
town?
Like, yeah, I don't know. So
It's a good question.
yeah. So he fills them in on the history of Jason Voorhees, and Will somehow figures out, while he talks about this, the entire plot that Freddy has been using Jason. He's like, you know what? What if Freddy is using Jason? And you're like, how did you get there on your first guess?
Literally in my notes, it just says Will came up with that theory pretty quickly.
Yeah,
I would never get there.
he should work for the murder police, like, 'cause he seems pretty good at it.
I would have probably landed with like they must have thought he died or something.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, he's a dream demon. God.
He's a dream demon. So as they discuss this, we see where Lori is just sitting by herself on the couch, and she falls asleep, and she has a quick nightmare. And as she's having this nightmare about Freddy, she actually grabs his ear and wakes up, and she pulled his ear into the real world, and that's when we see, like, she has this theory, like, oh, I could maybe pull Freddy into the real world, you know? So meanwhile, Jason Mewtwo decides to smoke a Quick J because they go to Weston Hills, and
What's it called?
Weston Hills, but they go there to get some Hypnosil to prevent Freddy from killing them. And in one section, they find all these like coma-induced patients, and who had like too much Hypnosil. And I like Lori's like, oh my god, who would do these, like, do all this stuff to people? And then Jason Ritter's like, your dad, he signed all the forms.
And he's kind of still like laughing about it. Like,
yeah,
he's,
like
pushing
he's
in
like,
her face. Like, yeah,
see?
I'm telling you, your dad's a piece of shit.
Your dad did this. Meanwhile, yeah, Muse is like smoking his J, and he sees, like, he hallucinates.
Wait, did you say that Muse is smoking his J?
Yeah.
That was good.
And, well, thanks. And he hallucinates. He sees a Fredapillar kind of like walk in and pull out like a little hookah, and then eventually we see where it like goes into his mouth, which is a great sequence where he's like, no, I don't want to dump all this Hypnosil in the drain, and then the thing like pops into his mouth. So in Freddy's possession, we see where he's like emptying out all the Hypnosil. It's such a great thing. It's great scene. And also, that's when Jason shows up too, and he kills Stubbs by electrocution.
But did we blow past security guard Donald Pleasance?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we did. No, when Jason first shows up, he like bangs down the door, and that security guard is 100% Donald Pleasance. But as Jason gives chase to everybody else, we see where the possessed Jason Mewes kind of tranquilizes Jason. He's like, what does he say? Let me handle this bitch.
Yeah, let me handle this bitch.
Yeah, and
well, fuck you.
Yeah, and we see where he just gets like chopped in half. It's a great looking
awesome
visual effect. Yeah. Then Jason has this first. First off, Jason, gets tranquilized, and they decide, why don't we put him in the van? and take him to Crystal Lake. But in the dream world, we see where Jason is having his first showdown with Freddy, right?
And it's so much fun.
And it's so fun. And in the dream world, Freddy pretty much owns him. And Freddy's like bouncing him around, like doing a little pinball with him.
Tilt.
And then we see, he's like just kicking the crap out of Jason at this point. And eventually, Freddy's like, why won't you die? Yeah. And then they bust a pipe and water starts to come out. And I love the change of lighting, like how it goes red to green. Mm-hmm. And Jason just like stops at the sight of the water. And then Freddy's like, yeah, all right, I see what's up.
Can I ask you something about this scene?
Yeah.
Because I know this is always like the big problem for a lot of people with this movie, because they're like, why is Jason afraid of water? And I never took it that he was like afraid of water per se, as much as there's probably something in his subconscious.
I think like a trigger.
Yeah, like he like remembers drowning as a child.
Yeah.
Like he probably does have some sort of like weird discomfort with water, even though like, he's a dead zombie thing now. He'll definitely like walk into a lake or the ocean if we're talking Jason Takes Manhattan.
Exactly, yeah.
But do you know what I mean? Like, did that ever like ring as like a more of like a psychological thing?
Yeah, I think it's just like a trigger.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know if it's necessarily a fear, but it does like revert him into a child.
Freddy's just like, you ugly little bitch.
Yeah,
To be fair, that kid was fuck ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like how he's just like, yeah, that's a face only a mother could love. He like holds up her head and stuff, and I'm like, man, Freddy was a great character.
And then that kid said,
The kid said, my dad's.
We don't know who my dad is.
But my mom's Betsy Palmer.
In the real world, the gang is driving Jason to Crystal Lake, and Laurie's like, you know what? I'm going to enter the dream world, and I'm going to pull Freddy into our world. So I'm going to set a timer. I'm going to lay next to Jason, and you guys just wake me up, right? And they're like, why are we driving all the way to Crystal Lake? And she's like, to give Jason home turf, like
Fan
home field
service.
advantage.
Fan service is what it was.
Fan service.
but the girl who's been falling asleep at the blink of an eye, give me some of that tranquilizer.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't need that tranquilizer. None of you kids do.
It's all the same day too, so this is still, I'm guessing, Friday, right? Like, because she went to school that day. Like, there hasn't been like a day break since. So the rave, everything that's happened up until this point is still the same night.
Can you imagine Saturday when they had to explain all this shit to somebody? So this is what my Friday was.
So this was my Friday the 13th.
Wild shit.
So back...
I owe this campground in New Jersey all this money for destruction of property.
They looked like they were building something and we just ruined it.
So in the dream
We
world...
stopped Jason, but we did some time.
Yeah. So we see where Laurie enters the dream world to grab Freddy, and Laurie starts to see that Jason is getting bullied by, like the kids, and she's like, hey, can you stop him? And then it's just like Freddy having sex with like a dead camp counselor. He's like, I can't help, she's dead on her feet. And then
he just like starts making the dead hand wave.
And then
real quick thing, do we go past the part where we're like in Jason's head and he's like going into that shack looking thing from part 2?
Yeah.
Do we go past that?
Yeah.
So on Jason's bed, I'm assuming that's where he sleeps, there's a guitar.
Yeah.
Is Jason playing that guitar?
Yeah.
This song's gonna be on. The man behind the man.
Today's gonna be the day that gonna live back to you. By now you should have somehow realized what you gotta do.
That was the perfect song for the pick. So that guy learned to
Closing
play.
time.
I'm gonna play this for some of these girls that show up on the campgrounds. They're gonna love it. Wow, Jason's real deep.
He's cool.
Alone by the fire, just strumming.
So we see where Laurie then sees where Freddy is drowning Jason, and she's trying to help him out. But eventually, Jason wakes up, and
oh, I love when she's like saying like, "Give me your hand."
Yeah.
He jumps out of the water, and she's like, "Ew, gross!"
Yeah.
Oh, he's fuck ugly.
Oh, never mind.
And
Freddy, continue.
I love, like, so Jason wakes up and he starts to, like, move all over the place. Linderman's gun goes off, and so they crash the van. We see Jason's body just fly out of the van like Peter Pan. He just, like, soars in the air.
It is so funny.
And Lori, I guess, is, like, just her body, which was right next to him, is fine. It
Gravity
didn't-
works differently for them.
Yeah, I guess so. So Lori doesn't wake up. She's still stuck in the dream world until and Freddy's like, I'm the one that murdered your mom. I'm the one that did this and that. And she's like, what the hell? And eventually they burn her arm to wake her up in the real world. And Freddy and her wake up in the real world, and they see Jason has showed up. And the cabin's on fire, and Freddy's face is priceless. Like, it
Oh shit!
where he realizes where he is. Robert Englund's face is just it's incredible. Like, that performance, I think this is his best, like, Freddy performance, right? Like, would you say that?
I don't. Maybe it's weird because there's so many different variations of it.
Yeah.
Sometimes he's like serious,
Right.
maniacal, kind of sort of darkly funny Freddy, and this one he's a cartoon.
Yeah.
The expression on his face though is so funny. It's just kind of like, I may have gone too far. In a few places.
yeah. And how he gets up and he kind of is like, whoa.
I do like the just backtracking a little bit when he jumps out of the water. He like rockets out of the water and lands on the dock.
Yeah, and he's like, ew.
And he looks like Termite Satan.
Oh yeah, he does.
I was getting Termite Satan into the episode, Jon Snow. All right,
Just for you.
I know if you're listening right now, I just want to let you know that was for you.
So then we see where Freddy and Jason go at it in the real world, and this is like where fans were just like losing their mind.
All your
in the theater.
complaints fall away
Yeah.
to its awesomeness.
We see where Linderman at one point, him and Kia are trying to, prevent Jason from killing Lori while she's asleep. And during that scuffle with Jason, we see Linderman gets like this injury, like he gets knocked against the wall, and you see like some blood on like one of the brackets sticking out of the wall. And
right before he gets whacked, like
Yeah.
Jason's on the other side of a table, and Linderman pushes some pots at him.
Yeah. It's his weakness.
What if that's what killed him?
He's like, no!
Oh no! They tried everything before, but not this. That's a surprise to me as well.
But Kia gets Linderman outside, and she like sets him down by the tree, and we see where he actually dies like the most peaceful death out of like all of the like Nightmare movies and Friday movies. I feel like he actually has like a very like peaceful death.
Well, that's because they cut out the ending to that. There was actually like a bear that dragged him out. Started tearing him apart.
Oh, okay. It was like The Revenant.
The bear grabbed his leg and they met eyes, and the bear went, Linderman! Linderman!
Spit Everclear on him.
Oh no.
Not again.
Bear, I don't drink.
Could you block up this blood coming out of my body? It's all I have left.
So Lori and Will make it to the dock, and Kia ends up distracting Freddy, and then she gets killed by Jason, rightfully so.
It says unfortunate dialogue.
Yeah.
She uses the F slur.
She sure does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Jason's like, "This is for Beyonce."
So then we see them really go at it, just slashing away at each other, Jason and Freddy. And Lori and Will try to set off this huge explosion. And as Freddy goes in for the kill on Lori, well, first off, they have this huge fight, right? And we see where, there's this construction, like a condo's about to be built, right? Like on Crystal Lake. And they have this fight in this construction site. And, Freddy knocks over all these, like, poles that, like, go into Jason. Then he gets, like, this huge thing that he just throws at Jason. And it, like a mill thing, right? And
sure.
And it's hitting him. And,
Hey, asshole!
yeah.
Yeah.
And then he goes for, like, a mine cart. and he's like trying to push it. It gets stuck, and this is where like Freddy gets really goofy, right? Or they like kind of like make him a Three Stooge at this point, right? Where the thing that mill thing hits the slide, so he falls and he gets stuck on like that thing as it's rotating, and he sees like he's going towards Jason and goes, "Oh no!"
At that point, he should have looked at the camera again. He's like, "It's me, Fred again. I may have gone too far in a few places with this guy."
But and then they slash each other up, but we see where they fight all the way to the dock. A bomb goes off, like a thing, and they explode and they fall over by.
Because it's like Lori and Will are like dousing that thing with gas.
Yes.
And blow it up. I like Will's plan. Will's like, "Let's leave."
Yeah.
And she's like, "No, let's stay here."
I have to see this through.
He ruined. What did she say? She's like,
She ruined your life. She ruined my.
You ruined my
both
life of our pasts.
Will was like, not really. I liked Weston Hills.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. They wouldn't let us watch TV though.
Your dad was cleared and everything, but he still comes off really weird. Keep an eye on him.
But yeah, so they have this fight at the dock, and they're really tearing into each other. Where Freddy like pokes out Jason's eyes.
Awesome.
Freddy gets his arm chopped off.
Does he like rip it off?
Yeah, he like rips it off. Yeah,
so
that's
cool.
right. And eventually,
can you imagine if like somebody just randomly walked into this theater, had never seen any of these movies before, and just saw this part?
Yeah.
What the fuck is this movie?
What the fuck is happening?
It's so like, I mean, like it's cool because we've seen it a million times, but like we're just like some randos started the franchise and saw this movie for the first time. Just be like two monsters turning each other into spaghetti. It's so awesome.
It's crazy. And then we see where Freddy ends up knocking Jason into the water, right? And he sees Lori, and he picks up Jason's machete, and he goes for it. Like, he's like about to move in on Lori and kill her. And that's when Jason pops out of the water and impales Freddy with his own arm, like the glove arm.
Awesome.
And falls into the water like Free Willy. Like, Jason like pops up, hits him with like the arm, and then he like falls back into the water. I'm like, it reminded me of Free Willy, where it's just like shh. So then Lori then takes the chance. She decapitates Freddy, and we see where Freddy falls to the ground. He's dead. And we see Jason kind of just like slowly sink to the water.
And she throws him his mask.
Yep.
She's like, "You are an ugly fucker. Keep that shit covered up."
Lori and Will take off, and we see they don't care about all the destruction that they caused around them. They're just like, "Okay, let's go home now."
Terrible people.
Yeah.
Should we call someone? Nah.
No. And then we cut to...
They should have had like a shot the next day. Like, the owner of the property comes.
What
happened?
What?
I'm ruined.
I'm ruined. I invested everything I had. I saved all this time.
You see him just slowly walk into the cabin and you hear a gun go off.
It was gonna be the condos at Camp Dead.
What an attraction it would have been.
I already had most of the units rented out.
And then we see a final scene, and it looks like it's the next day, and Jason is getting out, like coming out of the water, carrying Freddy's head. And then you think, oh, okay, so Jason is the victor in this. But then it kind of zooms in on Freddy's face, and he gives like a little wink. Like, hey, maybe this is a dream, or, we don't really know.
There was no victor, unfortunately.
Right. I feel like it's kind of even keeled.
Monica Keenan cut off Freddy's head.
Yeah.
And you know what? All the shit that Freddy Krueger survived throughout the franchise, he literally has to go out. The last image that poor guy sees is Monica Keenan trying to get the words out. "Welcome to my world, bitch!" That's what he has to leave this world thinking about.
That's why he never did another Freddy movie. He was like, not after last time.
Is she coming back?
Jason did win, though, because he uses Freddy's severed head as a fleshlight.
Oh, God.
Freddy's like, oh no. And then Jason sets him up, and he's like, today's gonna be the day they're gonna throw back to you.
I just want to go to hell, bitch.
He's like, I'm gonna put you next to Mom, and he just puts Freddy's head next to his mother's head.
Why didn't they do that?
What? Oh, Freddy's head next to the mother's head?
Remember, at the end of 2, there's the head in the shack?
Yeah.
That would have been a nice little closing thing. Like, he just gently sets Freddy's head next to the mother's head. Right?
Yeah. That would have been interesting.
Hey, do you know that one of the original ideas for this movie was that, like, I think they were trying to imply that Freddy was Jason's father?
Oh, really?
How stupid would that have been?
That's weird.
Yeah. But we don't have to talk about that. Hey, let's talk about how we felt about this movie.
I loved it. I thought it was amazing. I could not wait till we got to this movie because I actually really love it a lot. I think it's like one of our, definitely like at least one of my favorites for sure. How about you, Chris?
It's so much fun. Like it's one of my favorite monster versus monster movies.
Absolutely.
Even better than Kramer versus Kramer?
Yeah, because I watched that movie, and he didn't do any goofy shit at all. It was like about a divorce or whatever.
He made French toast.
He didn't come big, but he didn't get it from Jerry's apartment. That movie was bullshit.
There's some real good tension that though on that kid. It's going for the ice cream.
I did like when Dustin Hoffman winked at the camera at the end.
After his head was cut off.
After his head was cut off by Meryl Streep.
Hey, that's Kramer versus Kramer. You can look it up and tell if we're wrong.
Yeah.
Listen up. Anyway, you like the movie?
I thought it was a good movie. And it was exciting and very Canadian. Those Canadians know what they're doing when it comes to horror. They'll sprinkle some American actors in there, but in the end, they were tired of America fucking around and lying to its citizens about Freddy vs. Jason. So they got the rights to it and they made it.
Yes.
Man.
And we're lucky that they did and that they shared it with us. But in terms of like, it's just fun. It's fun. It's fun to watch. It's fun to make fun of. Like there's so much to goof around about it. But at the end of the day, it holds a very special place in my heart.
I remember looking forward to this movie, as I said at the beginning of the episode.
Yep.
I was very excited, and I remember leaving the theater, and I was lit up. I thought it was so much fun.
Yeah.
And over the years, when I revisit it, you start to see a little bit of the cracks. It's a little awkward here. Some weird line deliveries, some weirdisms with plot, but honestly, it just sort of seems like a very affectionate love letter to both franchises. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but it was technically the last of the original continuity for both villains.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was a great way to leave.
Yeah.
They left the party in a big bad way, and I remember the movie being huge. Like it made a ton of money.
Yeah.
And Robert Englund is just magical in the movie. So I have so many fond memories of this movie, and I recommend it to no one.
Yeah. No, I remember coming out of that, and there was maybe 10 of us that went to see it, and we were all jazzed. We all loved it. There was Freddy movie. And Jason fans, and we all felt satisfied. It wasn't one-sided. You know what I mean? So it didn't feel like it was one-sided, even though now looking back, Freddy definitely probably had more advantage.
Yeah.
But then Jason in the real world was murdering everybody. So I don't know. It feels balanced, but I don't know. It's weird, right? I feel like it's kind of balanced really well. The only problem I have is the whole father plot, because you literally could cut that out of this movie, and I feel like it would still be fine.
Hey, you know what they also could have cut out? The whole plot. You just had them fight.
Yeah.
I feel like that people would be talking about this movie differently if there just wasn't a bunch of dumb characters.
Yeah.
But again,
is there any character that is kind of I would fight for a few characters in this. I think Mark is a good character. And yeah,
that's it.
No, I do feel like Mark is a good character. His brother, that, I would have liked to see probably more of that kind of stuff. But I don't know. There's other characters.
Kept
I like
Isabella
Linderman
around a little bit longer.
Yeah.
I like
Gibb.
I like Gibbs. She's wearing the red hat. It's like an homage to Norma and Carrie.
Yeah.
And little things like that. I'm like, cool character. I mean, not really a character, but more like fodder. But no, I mean, it's one of those movies, I guess, like, because I've been watching it for so many years that even like its imperfections, I wouldn't change anything. Because I have a lot of good memories with it. So it's like, you're like, oh, I'd take this, I would change this. But that's no longer that cool movie that I saw back in 2003.
Yeah.
And it was like, and again, it was I find fan service nowadays, they don't really know how to do it properly. Sometimes it's obnoxious, but like I felt like that movie was literally made for its fan base, and it was just a big fucking celebration for everybody who's followed the franchises. So I wouldn't change anything about it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
They could have had a scene where they're fighting, Jason and Freddy are fighting, and Jason knocks Freddy down, and you think Freddy's gonna go like he's done, and he hears inner monologue, and he's like,
What did you say to the kids that you kill? It ain't how hard you hit. It's how hard you get hit. And keep on going. Yeah, bitch!
and then Jason's like, you're one crazy dream demon, and Freddy's like, you'll get there.
It would have been cool if they drove them to the Octagon and just put them in a cage.
Yeah.
That would have been interesting.
I heard one of the original endings was that they were gonna. I'm not even kidding. They were gonna have Pinhead show up, and like they're supposed to keep fighting all the way down to hell, and then like Pinhead was supposed to show up and be like, "Gentlemen, what seems to be the problem?" Or be like, "Gentlemen, what seems to be the problem here?" Something like that. And that was supposed to be the ending, and I would like to have seen Pinhead show up
in a referee shirt.
But it's like not fully on his head. It's not over him. Yeah. It's like it's stuck.
There's like pieces like ripped.
It's like not completely on yet. Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
But hey, how about plugs?
Oh yeah, well, quick. I think we like to do emojis.
Emojis.
Yes. What, Chris? Since you're a guest, what emojis do you have for this movie?
A van. I didn't write him down yet. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
I forgot about that part.
I'll take one. We'll come back to you. I got a goat because there's a goat actor in this movie and he's really good.
Greatest of all time.
He was the greatest of all time. I have an ape because there's a good ape impression in this movie that I really thought worked quite well. Some kind of fucking caterpillar creature emoji. I got that in there too. Because that happened. I think, was there any dogs in this movie? I don't think so. Yeah, just the ape, the goat, caterpillar creature, a hockey stick,
Ooh.
a blood drop, a heart, because I do love this movie. It's pretty cool. And I also have, what can I lie about? There's a Freddy Krueger sweater emoji.
Perfect.
I just would say don't look into it.
Don't look into
it.
it.
Yeah, it's okay. How about you?
I would just give it some pills.
Orange juice.
Some a van and a lot of fire. Yeah, little fire emojis.
I have a van, a Canadian flag,
Yeah.
a hockey goal, some leaves to represent cannabis because the cannabis plays a huge role in this movie, at least for discount Jason Mewes.
It actually has an acting credit.
Yeah, as it should. And I have a hat and a glove.
Boom.
Boom. All right.
Got some plugs.
Yes.
Coming
so
up at you.
we have some plugs. Chris, what would you like to plug?
I would like to plug the internet again. I think I plugged it last time. It's
Yeah.
really catching on. Everybody seems to really enjoy it. There is a YouTube show everyone should listen to. It's also on Spotify. I'm going to say that again. It's also on Spotify. The YouTube views, like, there's not many, but there's enough for me to wake up and be like, all right, if that was a small audience, a small venue, there'd be a lot of people in that. When I look at my Spotify, I cry. And not like when I cry in the shower. It's like a sad cry. But Swartz Dreamboat presents Not Scary Stories. It's a new little series that I came up with where I present 2 stories that are not scary.
It's brilliant.
But they're
It's brilliant.
read like they are scary. And then you can follow me on all the socials at Swartz Dreamboat. And then follow me.
Hey, follow him. Help get his listens and views up.
What was the song in the last episode you were singing? It was so funny. I forget. You were doing like 2 voices.
It was Sixpence None the Richer.
Yes,
Kiss Me.
yeah, Kiss Me.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
I had tears in my eyes. I was laughing so hard. I was like,
really good.
I didn't know.
I wish this was a real Spotify song.
I didn't know how to start it, and I for whatever reason that song lives in my brain. So
Yeah.
I was like, there we go, we'll do that. And then I was like, what if Ronnie comes in and sings it with me? And then right, but like I'm like, oh, that's a great idea, and pat myself on the back. 70 fucking takes later, it took me so long to match it up just right, and it's still not matched. But I was like, fuck it, I'm not doing this again.
I don't know. Like,
kinda rocks.
There's something about it that, like, I didn't know. Like, I thought it was, like, purposely. Like, and so it was even funnier.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, it worked. It crushed. So, yeah.
Anything else you want to plug?
Yeah. Does anybody want to bend over real quick? Whoa! Whoa! Oh yeah, and check out HBO Max's hit show, The Penguin.
I got some plugs.
All right. Headed us up.
HBO Max is The Penguin. No, I got Raven View Productions. A film production company that everyone's slowly trying to build. It's how you listen to the show week to week.
Yeah.
It falls under there. Sometimes it comes up in my car. It says the name of the episode. I'm listening to it back because I'm a narcissist. But it says name of the episode, and then it says Raven View Productions. So that's how you're listening to it. So give it some love, fuckers. Fourth Cut Reviews. Chris Conforti's, it's a review thing. I never get this right. He does reviews.
A YouTube thing,
YouTube
too.
reviews.
Yeah.
It's run by our keyboard warrior buddy, Chris Conforti. Well, NEPA Horror Fest has already passed, so I should probably cross that off my list. It's an outdated plug. Variant Season, our buddy Will Perna's band, writing some fucking really cool rock music. It's probably produced better than a lot of the music that you're listening to at home, so that says something. Yeah. Gravy Diggers.
Hell yeah.
The best pot pie that you might survive.
I love that tagline. That you might survive.
Friend of the show, Dave Gonzalez, who was just on our Halloween 5 episode. He has Real Chronicles that you can look up. Also, you can look him up on the Cinematic Reel. Great, knowledgeable film aficionado. And, of course, we get to the part of the show. The only reason I do this show, I wait patiently so that I can plug Kitties of NEPA Pet Rescue. It's the only goddamn thing I care about. I don't care about anybody in this room, but just the kitties of NEPA.
How dare
and
you.
the Pet Rescue. I'm so sorry. I'm speaking the truth. Tired of lying. But those cats, they're cute. I see some of them are getting adopted. People running this thing are doing the Lord's work, getting these cats off the streets, getting them into college, getting them to like a future, you know?
Yeah.
Like this cat can be the next maker of the next like atom bomb that will surely destroy us. And wouldn't you like to be destroyed by a cat rather than some fucking prick and a stupid lab coat? I know I would.
Amen.
Amen.
Yeah. Amen.
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 Can I have a hallelujah?
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
But yeah, look up the cats and help them out. You can adopt them. I personally have adopted from any case of NEPA before. That's how I got Ella, and she's got real spooky eyes, and she's cute as
she's
fuck.
really cute.
But that's all I have this week. You hear me say the same ones every week, so none of this has been a surprise. How about you, Each?
I would like to plug Adam Farley's music, Chris Allou's music, and Kids on Bikes music. They are all available on Spotify. One is like very poppy, one's very Billy Joel, and the other one's kind of like more indie kind of music. And my brother is in the band Kids on Bikes, so check that out. Also,
check it out.
I would like to promote the one and only new metal messiah, Jon Snow.
Jon Snow,
and the Eastern Tribute Collective. He's the head singer, like lead singer of like about 14 different bands.
If Kitties of NEPA are doing the Lord's work, then the ECT is doing Termite Satan's work. Yeah. And that's another reference, John.
And also, I would like to promote Comics on the Green. Friend of the show, Becky. She's you'll see her down there. I talk comics with her. She's the coolest. Also, Shanty Hill Design. Our buddy Mike Vinci, he runs that. And
he's our Da Vinci for our website.
Yeah, he is. He helps
artist.
design everything on our website. Basically, he just did everything.
So all your complaints can go to him.
Yes, but he's the coolest guy in the world. So check that out and follow it. And of course, 3 Jacks. I want to give a shout out to 3 Jacks. I don't know the burger of the month yet, but we'll figure that out later.
It's the penguin burger.
It's called the gobbledygooker. More on that. It's delicious. I've had it before.
Oh, okay.
Takes years off your life, but boy, is it delicious.
It's turkey based, right?
Yeah, man. Well, it's like a burger, but there's actually like turkey on it and like a stuffing puck.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's so good.
I
think there's like a cranberry mayo on it. No one went over this with me. I just remember it because my mind is like, cannot wait for the gobbledygooker.
Can't wait for it to come back.
I'm just saying this. Tells people all the time. I don't eat a lot of like fast food or burgers, but like I love the friggin' burgers here. They're the best. I just had their by the time you hear this episode, this will mean nothing to you because it'll no longer be the burger of the month. But I had the Boogeyman, and it was delicious. But 3 Jacks, burger bar, better than 2 Jacks.
Better than 1 Jack.
Yeah, not quite as good as 4, but
it's close.
It's hard. They're really good over 4 Jacks.
It's close.
It's gotten there.
Yeah, but no, 3 Jacks Burger Bar. We record here. It's like our home base, right? And
they don't know about it. But
they don't even know. We just break in, and no, but
oh shit, I think
they really do have the best burgers in the area. 100%, right? Maybe in the world, probably
the world.
Yeah, the world.
Aliens are coming from space to check out the burgers here.
Yeah,
we heard good things.
I met a couple from Europa, the moon on Jupiter. Yeah, they stopped down and they're like, these are good. I don't know why they took
You'll have good burgers here. Our burgers are shit.
But yeah, no, guys, check out.
We make
3
everything
Jacks.
with Moonster cheese.
Moonster cheese. But check out 3 Jacks, and of course, check out the Frequels podcast.com. There you could buy T-shirts, coffee mugs, hoodies, drugs. Anything you're looking for, we got it.
Yeah, we got it.
I have an idea for some merch for you guys.
What's that?
I have bags of my beard hair in the car. Some of it's beard hair, some of it's back hair, some of it's but it's bags of my hair.
Hey, if anybody would like some of Chris's back hair, it's gonna be on sale.
It's on sale.
Limited amounts. There's only 1,000 strands available. Act quickly.
Yeah, and is it too late to bring up how awesome the soundtrack was to Freddy vs. Jason?
Oh, yeah, no, and bring it up. Yeah, hell yeah.
Like I'm gonna plug that. I want that because it's just like some of my favorite, like El Nino, Killswitch Engage, Mushroom Head. Hate Breed, some band called Slip K-Knot is on there.
Avril Lavigne,
Jesse and the Rippers.
Oh,
they're one of my favorite metal bands from the 90s.
Could make you laugh. I'd talk forever. Bitch. Robert Englund featuring. But yeah, no. I check out our website, and then you can email us there. Or if you have any comments, or suggestions, complaints, you could hit us up there. Also, we have an Instagram. You could follow us there. We share pictures and stuff from the episodes. along with like just other horror movie stuff. Also, you could follow us on Facebook. We have a Facebook, and you could check that out. Also, we share all our episodes there. Same with the website. You can find our episodes on the website too. But we're also available on iTunes, Spotify, and all those. And feel free to leave us a 5-star review on Applecast.
Mm-hmm.
We appreciate it. And you could just tear us in, the review part. Like if you want to write out, like if you actually hate the show, you could leave us 5 stars and then just tear into us.
Or just keep your fucking thoughts to yourself.
Yeah.
Just give us the 5 stars.
Yeah, you monsters.
Yeah,
You're going to get a review from Kay Rowland. She's going to be like, you tell that fat motherfucker Schwartz that I had some words with him. And I heard what he said. The edited stuff, I heard it.
And before we go, thank you to our guest, Chris Swartz, for coming in and crushing it as always. Thank you so much for coming on. Please come back again.
I will. I'm going to come back all the time. Actually, I'm here every show. I'm in that back booth waiting.
Yeah, we always sound like one day we're going to have another episode for you. He
Yeah.
sits there and waits, and then we're like, not tonight.
Not tonight, yeah.
It's been going on for months.
He just keeps watching every movie in preparation,
Yeah.
just in case. But no, thank you so much for coming on the show. We love having you on.
Anytime.
Yeah. It's always like a good time.
Yeah.
Lots
The
of laughs,
reviews
too.
have not been good, but I mean,
Hey,
it's been fun for
I
us.
see my numbers on social media. I understand. I don't know why you would have me back, but you do, and I'm an attention whore, so here I am.
Hey, I get so much good feedback about your
Yeah.
episodes, so you're doing us the favor, good sir.
El Snow was like, "Oh, his TikTok is gold."
I saw that.
Yeah.
Shout out to El Snow. Like, just that really made my ego huge that day. I kept going around telling strangers. I was like, El Snow likes my TikTok! And they were like, you're on TikTok?
Oh my god!
What are you doing in our living room?
Please don't hurt my family.
But Chris, thank you so much, man, and thank you to everyone at home listening. We love you guys, we really do, and we couldn't do this without you. And before we go, thank you for listening to Dreamboat.